Do you have a mortgage? Where are you on it? Did you get quite a low rate and now you're panicking because you can see the base rate and the mortgage rates rising? Are you wondering how you're going to afford your home going forward? Many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, it's worried, are going to get into arrears. It's got me thinking tonight, Daniel, do you think the government should step in and help people with their mortgages?
Well, we need to come back to this question, this poison of inflation, because everything we talk about, it comes out again. And the poison of inflation that's been unleashed means that we have major problems. That includes the strikes and the people losing value in their pay. And the only way to defeat inflation, to get it back down, is for interest rates to rise. And that means that people who are in debt, mortgages or whatever, are going to have to pay more interest. And if you say, and I'll be honest, I paid my mortgage off some years ago. So
right. So that's why you think the mortgage rate rate goes up.
You know, the many years I had a mortgage, we had to face interest rates going up and down. We didn't have, you know, this period since 2008 when interest rates have been artificially low. When I had a mortgage, earlier than that, interest rates would go up and down. We had to face it and manage it. And I'm terribly sorry, but that's what's going to have to happen because, frankly, if you're going to defeat inflation, which is absolutely crucial, you cannot say to people, we're putting interest rates up to defeat inflation. Oh, and by the way, we'll print some money to hand it back to you so that you don't even notice. It's got to affect behaviour. So I'm afraid it's going to happen, and people are going to have to pay it. And I'm very, very sorry for them. And if they thought they could carry on borrowing at artificially low interest rates for a very long time, and I can see why they were lulled into thinking that, some of them, I don't blame them, but it was always an illusion, the idea you could have interest rates of 1% and 2% or even less. That was never going to last.
No? Kevin, where do you stand?
I don't agree with Daniel. I think the picture that you paint, Daniel, is in the abstract. And what we're talking about is over 700,000 people who are in serious difficulty with the mortgages. So it means that if we just let that go and don't do anything, a section of those people will lose their houses and a lot more people will get into serious debt. Now, we can say, as Daniel has just said, that we have to control inflation, we have to let the market take its route. That's what you call TINA, the old dictum, there is no alternative. That was Thatcher's dictum. And it's a problem. We're better than that. It doesn't have to be like this. And just when we go right back to, and I mentioned Thatcher, that's an interesting moment when most people had their own house, most people rented their house. And Thatcher introduced the notion that where you live can become a financial asset effectively and that you should buy your house and so on, get a mortgage. What's really interesting further down the line is you get situations and problems like this, and what you get is certain free marketeers saying, well, that's tough. Now, even though I wasn't a fan of Thatcher's, encouragement of people to buy their own houses and privatisation, etc., it is what it is, and I certainly don't think we should just abandon those people.
What do you think they should do?
I think the government should step in with some sort of financial assistance. I'm not quite sure the A to Z of what that assistance would be, but I definitely think some package should be put together. And I know what you're probably going to say to me, Michelle. If I can read your mind, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. Will people who rent their houses be very happy about that? And they might say that's not fair, etc., etc., etc. And they would have a point. I would accept the fact that they raise a legitimate criticism. But the alternative here is to let hundreds of thousands of people possibly sink with their mortgages. And I think that's too high a price to pay without trying to do something about it.